Hey everybody, what is going on? Hope you're having a great weekend. I want to make a quick video real fast. Try not to be too lengthy with this, but basically I wanted to explain a scenario and a situation, an example that happened this week with a carrier that I work with. And I wanted to bring it to your attention because this is a scenario that you most likely will find yourself in. And there's a couple solutions to being able to work through it from an order of operations and chronologically to come out with the best outcome to get paid, which is what you want. So basically, I wanted to break it down for you real fast. So what happened this past week with a carrier that I work with is he saw a posting on DAT. He sees the broker's name listed. In this case, the broker's name was New Concept Logistics. Takes the MC number, comes over to the credit check system before calling the broker, because no point in calling the broker and then doing a credit check and then finding out that the broker is bad at credit and you can't work with them, and then you've wasted 5 minutes talking to somebody and negotiating a rate where you're not even going to run their load anyway because they have bad credit. So anyway, he saw the posting. He saw it, said New Concept Logistics. He grabs the MC number, comes to our credit check system, slams in that MC number, as you can see right here. He can use the DOT number as well, and has a green score. That's what we're looking for. If it's green, it's good to go. If it's yellow, it means it needs further consideration. Call the credit check hotline. If it's red, red means it's dead. Do not work with them. They're a shady broker. In this case, it's green. Awesome, no-brainer. Calls them up, says, hey, I see you got the load posted up. Looks like you got it posted for $1,000. Can you give me $1,100 and I'll do it for you? Broker says, heck yeah, man. I'll give you the load. What's your ETA for the pickup? Yada, yada, yada. He gets sent the rate confirmation. He deadheads to the shipper, gets loaded, gets his BOL, leaves the shipper. That's what happened. Sounds pretty common, right? What's weird about that? Well, what's weird about it is after he left the shipper, he then looks at his paperwork and he sees, wait a second, the name on this rate confirmation doesn't match the name on the DAT posting. These are two different names. This is not the same broker. This is not the one that I did the credit check with the green stamp. What's going on here? Okay, well, let me figure this out. So he sees on the rate confirmation that there's a name called X Factory. Okay, well, let's go to FMCSA, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, and see if there is a brokerage called X Factory. We stuck it in, as you can clearly see. There is no broker called X Factory. Okay, that was our first step. At that point, we then go to the credit check system, and just for the heck of it, we slam in X Factory, and we see what the credit check system pulls up with. You know, is there any data for us to be able to pull? Okay, well, we come down here. Looks like there's no records of anything found for somebody called X Factory. So it's like, all right. He calls me. I'm like, okay, well, these are the first things that we need to double check, and we do these two defaults to do some research on this load. And basically, he's already loaded up, though. He's left the shipper. He has the BOL in his hand. He's headed to the receiver. He should have checked the paperwork before he even deadheaded to the shipper to get loaded. He didn't. So he is now loaded with a apparent load that's supposed to apparently pay him $1,100, excuse me, and we have no record of them being in the Department of Transportation, as you can see here, and we have no record of them with a credit check system. So somebody called this brokerage, has a posting that they're using for New Concepts Logistics Brokerage, where they're borrowing somebody's brokerage number and they're posting, and they're getting guys to come in, pick up loads, and they're slapping on a different name on the rate confirmations. For all we know, this could be a fake load. He could be doing this complete job for free. There's brokers out there that do things like this. Absolutely. That's why you do the credit check system that we have here. You know, in terms of, I guess, to get off on the side tangent, you know, in terms of getting compensated for the work that you're doing, because that's what makes the wheels roll, there's 3 ways to get paid for the loads that you do. First and foremost, there's your freight factoring company. Send them the paperwork the day you deliver the load. We pay you out the same day or the next day at 9 a.m. in the morning, 24 hours or less. Get that cash flow. Second way, let's say that they're not approved with a green score like this one right here on the screen. Let's say it's yellow, needed further consideration. You call into the credit check hotline and we say, nope, they have a horrible credit rating. We can't work with them. that doesn't mean it's not off the table for you. What if that load that you're talking to with this yellow credit score, and what if that broker, has a load that's going to get you home for 4th of July, get you home for a birthday, get you home for the weekend, get you home for getting you to the destination where you want to go, regardless of, a holiday or whatnot. It's going where you want to go, but it's not approved in the system. What do you do at that point? Well, then it's your second option. First was the factoring. Second is quick pay. Say, call them up. Hey, man, listen, I see you got a load that's posted. My factoring company, they're not going to factor you. They say you don't have a good enough credit score. However, I need to get to the delivery location that this load delivers to. So do you offer quick pay? Oh, you do? Okay, great. Well, what's the parameters? Is it quick pay, 4%, and you're going to pay me in 4 days? Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'll take that. If that's what you can do, great. That's if it's a yellow score. This one in that example I was kind of explaining to, talking on the phone. Let's say that was a yellow. Yellow's okay. Yellow's okay. If it was frickin' red, don't even call him back and ask him if he has quick pay. He's definitely lying to you. Do not play ball unless he pays you. You call him up and say, hey, you have a horrible credit score. You're frickin' red in the system. You pay me everything the day I pick up the load, not when I deliver it, and pay me with PayPal. You can do it like that. But for those examples, first would be factoring. Then it would be seeing if there's a quick pay option. And then the third and the final would be, well, you need to wait 21 days to get paid. You might need to wait 30 days. You might need to wait 60 or 90 days. Some brokers take that long to pay. Those would be the three options to get paid for the work that you're doing. Obviously, first and foremost, to get that cash flow moving, you'd probably just want to do it with your freight factoring company. And that's why we're here. And that's why we have tools like this. So to go back to the example, after kind of going over sort of that macro perspective, but to bring it back in, I'm always trying to navigate with this freaking camera. I told him, listen, man, all right, so let's call up this company and ask them, hey, we didn't realize that you're not a brokerage. So we're going to assume that you're a direct shipper. Are you going to be able to offer quick pay on this load? Because the factoring company's not going to be able to factor this load. Can you do quick pay? And they say, nope, sorry, we can't do quick pay. So the guy that sold him this load, this was a shady operation. He was using somebody else's name, somebody else's MC number. This guy should have checked the paperwork before he even headed to the shipper to pick it up, before he even turned on the truck to start driving to the shipper. And what did he do? He looked at the paperwork after he left the shipper and was loaded. He chronologically, order of operations, that's something that he clearly should have done, but he didn't. So we called this company and asked them. They say, no, we're not going to do quick pay. So I told the guy, listen, this is going to be the play-by-play option that I want us to sling and see if it sticks. So we're going to do one of two things. You're going to deliver this load because you're already loaded with it. So let's pray that you're going to get paid. So deliver the load, get the POD, get your Raycon, BOL, POD, send them over to your CRM, your client relationship manager, the person here at G Squared that manage your paperwork, and ask them, hey, can we factor this load? Can you pull any strings and see if we operate this as a direct shipper, can you get me paid on this load? And see with the CRM, the client relationship manager, the funding manager that handles your deposits, see if they can figure it out. That's going to be the first option that I propose to you. And if we can't, they're not doing quick pay, well, then at that point, you're going to have to wait 30, 60, or 90 days to get paid, depending on how quickly this accounts payable operates with this company. So as a long-winded example, so to re-summarize, what did he do wrong? He should have checked the paperwork when he got the rate confirmation and realized, oh, this rate confirmation says X Factory. It doesn't say New Concept Logistics, the people that were posting the load. So these are two different names, two different companies, two different MCs, two different payments. After the one that I checked that was approved, clearly this other one that he checked, it's not even in the system because they're not even a brokerage. So he should have checked the paperwork before even heading to the shipper to get loaded. That's the first mistake. And things like this happen. They don't happen too often, but they do. I'm not going to say 1 in 100. maybe 1 in 1,000. But there's shady brokers out there. But listing these multiple options and multiple steps of processing and trying to come up with a solution to fix this problem. And this is what I would propose. This is how I analyze it. And this is how I plan on fixing and solving the problem. Whether it's this gentleman or anybody that I work with, chronologically, this is the way you think about it. This is the way you approach it, and this is the way you handle it, following these steps. So we will see how the cookie crumbles in regards to, is he going to get paid? Are we going to be able to figure out how to do this as a direct shipper factoring load? Maybe we might be able to. We got a lot of pull, so we might be able to figure it out. So it might be all okay, and he'll get paid, factoring the load. But this could have really gone south extremely, and I want to make you aware of it because stuff like this happens. But anyway, I've made this video longer than I wanted to again, but I hope you have a great weekend. I hope this is educational and informative and gives you perspective to think about other shady brokers that are out there and how to handle these situations when they do get put in your lap, and how to efficiently work through it in the most productive way. And always remember, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Same thing with brokers. Don't get into a fighting, a boxing, cussing, knocking people out just yet. Always take the high road, and it ends up working out a lot better. There are other people that don't really take that road, but that's okay. There's more room for you on that road. So on that horrible freight joke, you guys have a great weekend. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.